The natural state of the free market is deflation. In other words, you only use things that give you more value. And all companies, all entrepreneurs, anything that's kind of willed into existence from our brains have to compete against what was there before. And you only use the things that give you more value.
Okay, Bitcoin sounds interesting, but it's very expensive. What about XYZ coin, whatever other altcoin that it may be? You get that every time you talk to someone.
Being an open, decentralized, secure protocol bounded by energy, then there might be a whole bunch of people kind of in the government. The government is terrible. Government is controlling us. Everything else, and that control structure wouldn't allow Bitcoin to be able to survive because it was open, because anybody could see the transactions. So inside there's honestly, there's probably some reasonable arguments to saying there's not enough privacy, and as this structure gets bigger and bigger and more concentrated, they're going to come and attack Bitcoin, and they're going to attack the protocol with everything they have to be able to stop this from removing that power, essentially by redistributing the power back to people instead of government in the natural state of the market. So they would worry about that. And in that, it might make sense to have a privacy coin. And that privacy coin might not be somebody saying, I'm going to try to destroy Bitcoin. I'm going to try to create something that can evade that. So inside that, the nuance of that example, right, you could say, is that a good idea? And the idea of privacy is a good idea, right? Especially if you had a massive control structure trying to attack a decentralized, secure protocol bounded by energy. Now, we've seen through this process that Bitcoin has stayed resilient in the entire time, and no government can control it, or at least not yet. But I can understand why somebody might think they have to be totally private, but what you find in the protocol is the protocol is developing the privacy on layers above Bitcoin. Instead of needing a new coin, that coin centralizes and becomes a problem because so there's some ideas within the coins that make sense and extend the functionality and the benefits of Bitcoin, but they come in different layers, so you don't need a new coin.
Can you break down a little bit maybe why you view Bitcoin differently? Why it's not like a tech stock, and why it being a protocol matters so much more than it just being another technology product?
Yeah, so technology stocks or technology products are winner take most, and until the new better technology comes along. Protocols are winner take all, and everything is built on top of a protocol. So when I was really intentional when I said the 5 words connected. So they're all the interdisciplinary, an open, decentralized, secure protocol bounded by energy. All 5 of those words matter a lot, and it's open. Anybody can choose to move to it. It's decentralized, so having more Bitcoin, it doesn't give you any more control of the network. It's decentralized around the world. It's secure. In 16 years, nobody's ever attacked it, or ever, and even worse, every single person who's tried to control it, essentially tried to cheat it, could have done better if they just bought it on the cooperative network. It's amazing. So it's actually it's staggering in the fact that if you cheat Bitcoin, you only cheat yourself. And more people will try to cheat Bitcoin, but that's, at least in the 16 years to date, it's proven that. Protocol, and protocols are winner take all. There is only one internet, and it comes in layers. You have a choice on the internet. You could be North Korea and choose for your society not to be on the internet, and they suffer the consequences. But you cannot choose. You're either on the internet or you're off of the internet. And the internet and protocols come in layers and add more and more functionalities in layers, and it's bounded by energy. So when you when you put those five things together, and you say, what would that world describe versus something that is manipulated, our time is manipulated and money is manipulated, and that would describe perfectly the first global free market that ever existed when measured from the protocol. But it would also it would create a whole bunch of confusion because we don't see protocols very often. It would create confusion, and we see technologies more often. So it would say it would be easy to to conflate the protocol with another coin and say I have a faster, better coin, and most people would think would be convinced then Bitcoin is old technology and the new one would be better. It would be normal that the transition would look exactly like it looks because most people would misunderstand how protocols are winner take all. They would think they need some other piece of technology. They would think they need something else, some other blockchain, without understanding this deep enough because they don't understand protocols nor technology deep enough.
All of the benefits that we should be getting, that humanity should be receiving essentially because of all the technological innovation, because of everybody trying to compete and work harder to make something better. All of that is basically being stolen away because people in power can turn on the money printer, so to speak, and create more units of the currency. And they must do that faster than the rate of prices naturally falling because of technology. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the rate of printing has to offset and more, right? So prices have to go up because if you allowed deflation from a credit, if a system is based on credit and you allowed deflation, the credit is reset. And so no one, when we say those people, there isn't a person even in Bitcoin that I know would say, stop the printing completely. Because every single thing would fail. Every bank would fail. All of the houses, all of the real estate that people think they have and is valued, it would all completely fail to zero because the entire credit-based system is based on the credit, that if you allow deflation from it, the thing collapses. So we have to be careful in our words. It's not those bad people, right? It's us in that system not wanting it to fail and then thinking that there's some savior within that system when it's actually us, almost the hypocrisy of us believing in one part of our lives we want lower and lower prices. And in the other part of our lives, our assets, our houses, and then stocks, we want higher prices, right? And it's nuts. But those systems have to be connected because they're connected through us. So we're making one system. So all of our votes, as this side or this side, are just ludicrous from a system that must steal more money. And I want to pick up on something you said because we've never lived in a free market. Well, it's not totally true. There's been more free markets, right, in time, like in the Great Deflation in the late 1800s in the U.S., where middle class was rising. In fact, the rise of the U.S. was the Constitution, which provided freedom of the individual. We live in a control system driven by money. And that control system is an exploitative system globally that has to concentrate wealth. And as it concentrates wealth kind of accrues at the top and then joins with politics. And it has to be a control system that we lose. Humanity overall loses from that control system. And everything we do from that control system makes it stronger. As we fight within it, it makes it stronger. And what Bitcoin is, for me anyways, at least as I see it, is an open, decentralized, secure protocol bounded by energy. And it resolves that control system. It allows us to escape the control system in favor of a protocol that allows all of the benefits of our productivity around the world to accrue to us instead of someone else. And that state change that the world is going through would be really, like, if you're measuring that state change from the state change, it would be really confusing. If you're measuring it from the new system, imposing what I just described, it would be, you'd start to see how the world heals everywhere because of Bitcoin.
People may be saying deflation, I thought that was bad, or deflation, I don't even know what that is, because all I hear about is inflation and the price of my groceries and gas and houses and everything going up. So can you break that down a little about this control structure that we live in? How does that actually work?
The natural state of the free market is deflation. In other words, you only use things that give you more value. And all companies, all entrepreneurs, anything that's kind of willed into existence from our brains have to compete against what was there before. And you only use the things that give you more value. So you are a part of the thing that is the natural state of the free market. The entire globe, 8 billion people's ideas competing for you. The output of that has to be deflation. And then as we create more ideas, let's use an idea, AI, right? And we compete to provide better tools in AI, that the people will use those things to remove labor faster, to be able to provide more value. Because if they don't provide more value, the company that does provide more value will kill them. Why will the company that provides more value kill them? Because you won't use the one with less value. So you are an integral part of creating the natural state of the free market as deflation. And it's not zero inflation. It's deflation, like faster and faster deflation, where if you didn't work, everybody working and everybody doing the world work would benefit you anyways, because prices, everything would fall faster and faster and faster for you forever. So if that's the natural state of the world, and technology is a supercharger of that, and when you say technologies, think about it, it's just different ideas that we're trying to solve problems to be more efficient. And those ideas, so that in that world, anything that's scarce creates an attack of entrepreneurs, because there's more money where the scarcity lies, and an attack of entrepreneurs to solve problems for us that results in prices falling. Why do prices go up? What's stopping that? Because something has to be stopping it. And the stopping of it is more and more manipulation of money, just creating more units of money to be able to make prices go up relative to those units of money. And then we fight within that system for control of it. Who gets to print the more units of money, and who gets to exploit others from that system, and trying to get richer and richer in a zero-sum game, right? Where everybody's losing in a system, even the rich. If you can't come out of your house because you're scared of the poor rising with pitchforks to be able to take it back from you, then you're losing too in that zero-sum game. You might think you're winning, but you're not long term. You're in a zero-sum game that typically gets reset through global conflict, killing millions of people. That then we say we promise not to do it again, where it starts again. The entire history of money is through that exact same lens, by stopping. By an exploitative control system that gets worse and worse and worse and divides people to be able to resolve this. And Bitcoin is the first time in history that we've ever had something that can resolve that conflict and allow all of the abundance that we create to flow to us. The first global free market that's ever existed.